Hello guys, welcome back. In our previous class, we were doing registration topic, that is chapter 4.1. Section 22 to 30 talks about the registration. So in this, we have covered till section 27. We have covered till 27 in our previous videos. So in this video, we would be covering the remaining three sections, that is 28, 29, 30 guys. Now till now whatever we have discussed is with respect to registration, how to get registration, what is the form, what is the time limit, everything. So now registration is obtained, registration has been granted, fine, I am doing the business. Now later I want to do some changes in the registration certificate. I want to change my address, name of the business, or assume I want to change the email address, phone number, whatever. Can I change it? Yes, you can change it. So normally the registration will be granted based on the application you have made. So whatever information you have given in your application for your registration will be granted based on that. Now if you want to change any particulars in that, can I make it? Yes, you can make it. That is what is covered in section 28 guys. Chalo, come to section 28 now. Yeah, come to this part. Amendment of registration. See, cancellation of registration is different. Amendment of registration is different. So amendment means your registration will continue, but only we are making some alterations or adjustments. That's all. The changes we are updating. Clear? Yes. Can we do it? Yes, you can do it, guys. Chalo. What is it? Amendment of registration, section 28, read with rule 19. So this we have to read side by side. Study side by side, that is section as well as rule, but what is more important is section. Yeah, so section 28 read with rule 19, both of them talks about amendment. What is it? One by one we will see. Every registered person and a person to whom unique identity number has been assigned shall inform proper officer of any changes. If you want to make any changes, he shall inform the proper officer of any changes in the information furnished at the time of registration or subsequent thereto. So I had already given some information, based on that I have taken registration. Now I want to change it. Can I make it? Yes, you have to inform it to the proper officer. Okay, how will I inform it? By way of, not by calling, hey proper officer, I want to change. No, by way of an application in Reg 14 to be submitted electronically along with relevant documents within a period of 15 days of change. Now assume I have changed my mobile number, email address, or name of my business or address of my business has been changed. In that case, within 15 days of such change, I need to make an application to the proper officer in Reg 14 guys. Reg 14, 28, half of it, 14. Try to remember like that. And one more important disclosure I just want to give it. See, this section 28, 29 and 30 bit lengthy only, especially 28, 29, but averagely important for the exam guys. Only once question has been asked, that on section 29 they have asked once in the exam, but other section like 28 and 30 till now they are not asked, but still anyhow in the coming exams they may ask it. So I will tell it averagely important. And here, please attention here, this is important. Here, we will be discussing about various time limit, various form numbers and all guys. Clear? So for each and every form, I have given form numbers. That is in what form application has to be made, in what form notice has to be issued, in what form reply has to be given in notice, everything I have given. So within what time and all. See, it is good if you remember, but I know it is a bit challenging to remember all these form numbers, days and all. So if you cannot remember, if by chance, if there is any question in the exam, so just write it. So the application should be made in prescribed form within prescribed time. If you don't exactly remember the form number or days, you can do like that guys. That is also fine. You may not get full marks, at least like maximum marks you can expect. Clear? I repeat, if you don't remember the form number, you can write the application can be made or the a reply can be made in the prescribed form. So I don't know the form number, so prescribed form, general term I am using. Same way, sir, I don't know the exact time limit within what time it has to be made. So in that case, application has to be made within prescribed time. Within prescribed time, you can write like this. So instead, some students will feel, oh, I don't know the form number, I don't know the days limit. So let me not answer this question. Please don't commit that mistake. It's okay if you don't know the form number or if you don't know the number of days, fine, still okay. If you know the provision, explain the provision by just telling in prescribed form or within prescribed time, like that. It's fine. Clear? Yes. At least it is better to get 3 or 4 marks for 5 marks question, or for 4 marks question at least to get 2.5 or 3 instead of getting 0, instead of not at all attempting that question, guys. Clear? Each and every mark will make difference, guys. Sure. So whenever there is any change with respect to whatever information I have already given, registration is already granted, so I can make an application for amendment in my registration certificate in REG 14 within 15 days of the change. Whatever change has happened, within 15 days of that, I need to make an application. Okay. The certificate of registration shall stand amended upon submission of such application on the common portal. On the common portal means once you have made an application, your application will stand amended straight away. Clear? So here, two things are there. Let me just discuss one by one. So there is an event, or else let me change. There is a change. So there is a change. So you need to make an application for change. Okay, one by one we will go. Okay, next I have made an application for change. Here there are two possibilities. If it is related to core areas, we will call it as NAP. What is that? We will discuss. Other cases, it will be amended straight away. It will be amended. Okay, sir. Other cases straight away amended. What is it? We will see one by one. Now, see, there are 3 core fields, guys. So if the change is related to these 3 core fields, amendment will not be directly done. You will make an application for amendment. It has to be approved by the proper officer. Approval is required only if the change is related to these 3 items. Okay, sir, what if the change is related to any other areas? In that case, approval is not required. As soon as you make application, the change will be updated in your profile. The change will be updated. I repeat. So if there is any change, there are possibilities of different changes. If the change is related to 3 areas, we call it as core fields. Clear? Then once you make an application, it has to be approved by the proper officer. Only then amendment will be completed. Only then amendment will be completed. Okay. Sir, what if it is not approved by the proper officer? Then the amendment will be rejected. Okay. Now, with respect to other areas, other than these 3 core fields, so approval from the proper officer is not required. So straight away, whenever you make an application, amendment will be completed. It will be updated. Yeah. So that is what is given in the B point. We will see it. If the change is related to core fields, so here I have not given in subsection, subrules and all, guys, because here whatever provisions I would be covering is a mixture of whatever is given in section 28 as well as rule 19. Clear? Both we will be discussing together. That is why I have not given it in order like subsection or subrule and all. Okay. If the change is related to core fields, what are those? Legal name of the business is changed. Address of the principal place of business or additional place of business, in simple, address of the business is changed, and addition or deletion or retirement of partners or directors, karta, managing committee or board of trustee, chief executive officer or equivalent, responsible for the day-to-day affairs of the business. So there is a change of a person who is supposed to take care day-to-day affairs of the business. Okay. Which does not warrant cancellation of registration. So in that case, cancellation of registration is not required. So the proper officer shall, after due verification, approve. So approval is required. Approve the amendment within a period of 15 working days and issue an order in form GST REG 50. So in case of core areas, within 15 days, the proper officer, within 15 days, the proper officer can approve. He can approve the amendment. Approve the amendment. Sir, can he reject also? Yes, he can reject. But before rejecting, he will give me a show cause notice. He will give me a show cause notice, guys. Yeah. So if he is approving, he will approve it. Just a second. Let me write the numbers here. So there is a change within 15 days of such change, application has to be made. Application has to be made in Reg 14. Within 15 days, application has to be made in Reg 14, 15. Okay, sir. Next, if the change is related to other areas, other cases or other areas, let me write other areas here. Just a second, guys. Yeah, this is other areas. Okay, if the change is related to other areas, then the amendment will be straight away done. Amended will be straight away done. No approval, nothing is required. Okay, sir. No approval. No approval required. No approval required. Okay. No approval is required. Next, if the change is related to core areas, if the change is related to core areas, that is NAP. Sir, what is NAP? NAP. You are taking a small nap. That is the change here. What is it? Name, the name of the business is changed, or A, address of the business is changed, or P, the persons has been changed. Person behind the business. The person who is the face of the business. The persons have been changed. There is addition, deletion, change, whatever. So NAP, name, address, person. Name of what? Business. Address of business. P means persons who are taking care of day-to-day affairs of the business. Short form to remember the core areas. NAP. Okay. So in that case, approval is required within 15 working days or within 15 days. Approval within 15 days. Within 15 days, the proper officer, we will have two options. If he is satisfied with whatever application he has made, I have made, he will straight away approve the amendment in Reg 15. We will approve my application in Reg 15. If not, I have made an application now. So if the proper officer is not happy with it, so he cannot straight away reject it. He will send me the show cause notice. He will send me the show cause notice. PO stands for proper officer here. Okay. Next, we'll continue. In any other case, same B point only, last point. In any other case, no approval of proper officer is required. That is in case of non-core areas. And the amendment can be affected by the taxable person on his own on the common portal. So as soon as I make the application, it will be auto amended. No approval is required in case of non-core areas. Okay, now coming to C point. The proper officer shall not reject the application for amendment in the registration particulars without giving the person an opportunity of being heard. So whenever I have made an application in case of core fields for the amendment, straight away the proper officer cannot reject your application. If you want to reject, first you will give me a show cause notice. I will reply for it. Then only he can reject it. Yeah, means if he still wants to reject it, he can reject it after giving my reply. So D point. In case where the proper officer is of the opinion that the amendment sought is either not warranted or the documents furnished therewith are incomplete or incorrect, he may, within a period of 15 working days from the receipt of application, serve a notice requiring the registered person to show cause. Show cause in the sense you have to explain or reply within the 7 working days of the service of the said notice as to why the application for amendment shall not be rejected. So he will give you the, once you have made an application, within 15 days he will send you a notice, and within 7 days of receiving it, you have to reply for it. Okay, sir, I have replied for it. So the proper officer, if satisfied, shall approve the grant of amendment to the registration to the applicant within a period of 7 working days from the date of receipt of such reply. In a case, if he is happy with the reply, he will accept the amendment and he will approve it. In a case where the applicant has not responded within the time limit, so the registered person is not at all replied for the notice within 7 days, or the proper officer is not satisfied. The registered person has replied for a notice, but the proper officer is not satisfied with the reply. In that case, he may, for the reasons to be recorded in writing, shall reject the application for amendment. So if I take and explain it here, within 15 working days here. Okay. So within 15 working days, if he is approving, straight away he will give the approval, or if he is rejecting, straight away he cannot reject it. He will issue a show cause notice to me. Okay. Once he issues show cause notice to me, the registered person will reply. Registered person, sorry. Let me change the color. Registered person will reply for notice, show cause notice. Okay. Next, within 7 days, again, the proper officer will have two choice: accept, reject or accept the amendment. Accept or reject the amendment, guys. Clear? So your show cause notice will be issued within 7 working days. Within 7 working days. WD stand for working days. Then once the reply is given by the registered person, within 7 working days again, the proper officer will either accept or reject it. If he is satisfied, accept. If he is not satisfied, reject. Or else, if the registered person is not at all replied, in that case, straight away will reject. Straight away, he will reject. He will wait for 7 days. On the 8th day, if he has not at all received the reply, the proper officer will reject it, guys. Yeah, I will just quickly recap this. So please, you guys can take down. So this is, so whenever there is any change, within 15 days, apply for a change. Apply for a change. So in what? In REG 14. Okay, sir. Next, if the change is related to core areas, approval is required. If the change is related to other areas or non-core areas, straight away amended. No approval is required. Next, if the change is related to core areas, that is name, address and persons, then within 15 working days, the proper officer will approve it in REG 15, or else he will give a show cause notice for you if he is not happy with the application, whatever he has made. Okay. So once the show cause notice is issued to the registered person, he has to reply for it within 7 working days. And once you give a reply within 7 working days, again, the proper officer will either accept or reject. If he is accepting, he will accept it in REG 15. That is, approval will be given in REG 15. So let me mention approval. Approval will be given in REG 15. Easy? Yes. Here WD means working days and RP stands for registered persons, guys. So you can take down. Let me just try to show it in one shot. Yeah. Hope you can see it. Done? Sure. Let me proceed. Some more points are there. We'll just discuss that. In case where the proper officer has not taken any action within a period of 15 or 7 working days, as the case may be, the application for amendment shall stand amended to the extent applicable. So what are they trying to tell here is, sir, now here in this case, core areas, within 15 days, the proper officer should either send a show cause notice or approve it. He is silent. He has not done neither of this. In that case, it is assumed that it is deemed that it is approved on the 16th day. Clear? Okay, sir. Next, he has given me show cause notice. I have replied for it. So once I have replied within 7 days, within 7 days of receiving the reply, he should either accept or reject. He is silent. He is silent here. He has not taken any decision within 7 days. On the 8th day, amendment is approved. It is understood that amendment is approved. Yeah, silent amounts to acceptance, implied acceptance. That is what point E is specifying. Next, coming to F, any rejection or approval of amendments under Sgst or UTGST Act shall be deemed to be a rejection or approval under this Act. Under this Act means Cgst Act. So if your application for amendment is rejected under any Sgst or UTGST Act, means it is deemed that it is also rejected under Cgst. You need not make a separate application there. There is no option. Next, H. So some important points here. Sir, I want to change my address. Can I amend? Yes, you can change it. But if you are changing the address outside the state, assume I had taken the registration in Karnataka. Now I am shifting my office to Tamil Nadu. Can I amend my registration certificate? No. Why? Because under GST registration is state-wise. You are changing your state itself. In that case, what I should do is, I should cancel my registration in Karnataka and obtain a fresh registration in Tamil Nadu. Important. Clear? Okay, sir. Next, sir, I have sold my business to another person. So, in that, just the name of the owner should be changed. Vikas to Vilas. Can I change it? No. So, obviously, the change in ownership or the constitution of the business will lead to a change in PAN. Agree? Because my PAN is different, this PAN will be different. I have taken registration under my PAN. So in that case, if there is any change of ownership or if there is any change in the constitution, then my registration has to be cancelled and the transferee or the successor should obtain the fresh registration. Even section, if you remember, 22, 3 and 4 talks about that only. If there is any transfer of business, transferee should get registered. Agree? So transferor will cancel his registration. Transferee has to get a fresh registration. Yeah, so please be careful because in these two scenarios, amendment is not possible. You have to cancel your old registration and the new registration will be taken separately. Clear? Yes. Chalo. Point H. Application for amendment of registration cannot be filed for a change in PAN. So if there is any change in PAN, you cannot amend the application. You have to change your registration only because GST registration is PAN based. One needs to make fresh application for registration in case there is a change in PAN. Thus, where a change in constitution of any business results in change of PAN. Change in constitution means business has been sold to others. So transferor has to cancel his registration, transferee has to get fresh registration. Thus, where a change in constitution of any business results in change of PAN of a registered person, the said person shall apply for fresh registration. Okay. Next. Last one. Similarly, application for amendment of registration form cannot be filed if there is a change of place of business from one state to another state. So if there is any change of business from one state to another state, you cannot file amendment. You cannot get amendment. GST registration are state-wise. If one wishes to relocate his business to another state, he must voluntarily cancel his current registration and apply for fresh registration in the state he is relocating his business, guys. So in my example, I should cancel my registration in Karnataka and obtain a fresh registration in Tamil Nadu under my PAN only. Registration will be obtained under my PAN only, but Karnataka registration has to be cancelled and I need to obtain a fresh registration in Tamil Nadu. Clear? Yes, sir. So this is all about section 28 read with rule 19, guys. Clear? And here also you can see which does not warrant the cancellation. Means if it is leading to cancellation, then you cannot apply for the amendment. Clear? Means they are clearly trying to tell you is amendment is possible only when cancellation is not applicable. So please be careful if there is any change of address from one state to another state, because here address is covered here. So then when can you amend your registration when there is a change in address? It is within one state or within one city. Then you can do the amendment. Clear? If the address is changing from one state to another state, then amendment is not possible. Clear? Yes. Then legal name of the business means if the ownership itself is transferred, then you cannot take amendment. You have to cancel your registration. Legal name, if you are changing, for example, A Private Limited to Z Private Limited, I am changing under same PAN, same state, everything same. In that, only name is changing. In that case, amendment is possible. Fine. Chalo guys. So this is all about section 28. Now we are going to 29. Bit lengthy section. Come on guys. 29, which talks about cancellation or suspension of registration. Sir, I have taken a registration under GST for supply of goods or services. Is it forever? Yes. If you continue to carry on the business, if you are following the provisions of the law, if you are doing everything as per the law of Cgst or Cgst rules and all, okay, you will continue to be registered person. But if you fail to do anything, or if you violate any provisions of the act, then your registration can be cancelled by the proper officer. Or else, sir, I am tired of doing business. Now I want to close my business. I want to go relax, enjoy my life. I want to travel. I want to travel the world or travel India. Okay, can I cancel my registration? Yes. I myself also, means I am the registered person. I myself can apply for cancellation of registration and get it done. Yeah. So there are two ways how the registration can be cancelled. A person who is registered can apply for cancellation of registration and he can get it done. Or else, if by chance, assume I was registered under GST, I died. So my nominees or legal representative, they can apply for cancellation and they can cancel my registration. Yeah. Okay. This is one possibility. Second possibility is I have violated some provisions of GST law. Which are those cases and all we will see. In that case, the proper officer can cancel my registration. You cannot cancel straight away as, hey, I have cancelled your registration, get lost anta. No. Before he cancel, he will send me a notice, I will respond to it, then only he can take a call. Yeah. So any harsh decision the proper officer is taking, okay, so actually first he has to give the notice to me. Even whenever he is rejecting any application what I have made, he cannot straight away reject it. Whether it is application for application for registration, application for amendment, whatever it is, the proper officer cannot straight away reject it. First, he will issue a show cause notice. He will give me an opportunity of being heard. That is, I can explain in my reply to notice. I can explain because there are chances of going mistake. There might be a mistake, error and all in the applications. So there is a chance to correct it from my end. So if still after replying to the notice also, if the proper officer is not satisfied, then he can take a harsh decision. He can reject my application. He can cancel my registration. He can do that. Yeah. So please try to remember that those things. Whenever the proper officer is rejecting or whenever he is cancelling your registration, straight away he will not do it. He will first send you a notice. You will respond to it. Only then he will take the final call. Yeah. Chalo. Fine guys. So we'll start with section 29, subsection 1. The proper officer may either on his own motion, that is he himself, or on an application filed by a registered person or by his legal heirs in case of death of such person. So application can be made by legal heirs or nominees. Cancel the registration in such manner and within such period as may be prescribed, having regard to circumstances where. So here three scenarios are given where the application will be made by the registered person or his nominee for cancellation. So these are the three scenarios where application will be made for cancellation. So which are those? The business has been discontinued or transferred fully for any reason, including death of the proprietor, amalgamated with other legal entity, demerged, otherwise disposed of. So I want to discontinue my business or I am selling it to others. So in whatever case, I want to cancel my registration. So I will make the application for cancellation. Or if I have died, my legal heirs or legal representative will make an application. Or if there is any change in the constitution of business, means sale of business, merger, demerger, in that case. C, the taxable person is no longer liable to be registered under section 22 or section 24 or intends to opt out of the registration voluntarily made under subsection 25(3). So what is it? Last point. Sir, I was supposed to get registered as per section 22-24. I have taken it. But now I am no more required to get registered under GST. In that case, can I cancel my registration? Yes. For example, just an example. Assume I was supplying goods outside the state, or I am supplying goods outside the state. So I was supposed to get registered under GST as per section 24, mandatory. Yes. Now assume after 2 years, I stopped supplying the goods outside the state. Now I am supplying this goods only within the state and my turnover is within the limit. In that case, I am not supposed to get registered. Can I cancel my registration? Yes, you can. Okay, this is just an example I gave you. So previously you were liable to get registered, so you got the registration. But later I was not liable for registration. Can I cancel it? Yes, you can cancel it. Next, a person who is not liable to get registered also can take voluntary registration. So I have taken a voluntary registration as per section 25 subsection 3. Now I want to cancel it. Can I? Yes, you can cancel it. You can make an application. So in all these 3 cases, ABC, the person whoever is seeking the cancellation should make an application for cancellation, guys. Okay. Provided that during pendency of the proceedings relating to cancellation of registration filed by the registration person, the registration may be suspended for such period and in such manner as may be prescribed. See, normally, when I am making an application for cancellation, it will not be cancelled immediately. Tomorrow only it will not be cancelled. It will take some time, 15 days, 30 days. Assume it is taking 10 days time. So during that 10 days, my registration will be suspended. So during that period of suspension, you cannot supply any goods, you cannot file any returns or anything. Yeah. So till the decisions are taken by the proper officer whether to cancel your registration or not. So that means till the cancellation proceedings are completed, your registration will be suspended. It will be kept on hold. Yeah, means you cannot do anything during that period. Yeah, with respect to suspension, we will cover it. We have a provision for it. Clear? So this is with respect to 29.1. Then coming to 29.2, subsection 2. The proper officer may cancel the registration of a person from such date, including any retrospective date, as he may deem fit, where. So the proper officer also. So first point here was ABC case, where the person is seeking for a cancellation, so he is making an application. Okay, you can make it. Next, the proper officer, can he straight away cancel the registration? Can he cancel? Does he have that right? Yes. But before cancelling, he will issue a show cause notice and he will reply for it. Then only he will cancel it. But under what grounds can he cancel the registration is given here. So what are those? One by one we will see. Section 29, subsection 2. The proper officer may cancel the registration of a person from such date. So the date of cancellation also will be decided by the proper officer, including any retrospective date. So you can also, for example, assume the proper officer is passing the cancellation order on 10th December. He can tell the registration is effective from 1st December. So retrospective date also he can take. So the registration is effective from 1st December. So the date from which the registration cancellation will be effective will be decided by whom? Proper officer. Okay. As he may deem fit, where? In the following situations. So under what circumstances the proper officer can cancel your registration? Under the following grounds. What are those? A registered person who has contravened or violated such provisions of the act or the rules made thereunder as may be prescribed. Prescribed contraventions which make a registered person liable to be cancellation of registration. So point A, 29 subsection 2 point A is telling, if the registered person has violated the provisions of the act, the proper officer can cancel the registration. So what are the provisions which are violated by registered person? Under which situation it is given under Rule 21. So Rule 21 are specifying the contraventions. So what are those? The registered person does not conduct any business from the declared place of business. Sir, I have taken the registration. But I am not at all carrying the business. From whatever address I have given, I am not at all doing any business from there. So if the proper officer get to know that, he can cancel my registration. Okay. Next, issues invoice or bill without supply of goods or services in violations of provisions of this act or the rules made thereunder. So I am issuing fake invoice, fake bill of supply without any supply of goods or services. So in that case, I am violating the provisions, so my registration can be cancelled. Next, violates the provisions of Section 171 of Cgst Act. Section 171 of Cgst Act contains provisions relating to anti-profiteering measure. We have not yet covered this. So in the name of GST, you are trying to make anti-profiteering, means you are trying to make some profit. Yeah, there were people at the introduction of GST who used to make like this. Okay, in the name of GST, they used to charge more prices for their goods or services and make more profit. You cannot do it as per section 179. So 171. And if you do it, the proper officer will have a right to cancel your registration. Okay. Next, violates the provision of Rule 10A. I have taken the registration, but I had not given the bank account details. I am supposed to give the bank account details within 45 days of obtaining the registration or before filing my first return under section 39. If I fail to do, my registration can be cancelled by the proper officer, guys. With respect to this, the rule is 10A. Okay. Next, avails ITC in violations of provision section 16 of Cgst Act or the rules made thereunder. So there are various conditions given under section 16 which I need to follow to claim the credit. Sir, I have not fulfilled that condition, but still I have claimed the credit. In that case, the proper officer will have a right to cancel your registration. Next, violate the provision of Rule 86B, that is 1% thing or 99% thing. So 99% of your output tax should be paid. You can utilize the credit. Remaining 1% should be paid through your electronic cash ledger. Agree? This is only for those for whom Rule 86B is applicable. For everyone, Rule 86B is not applicable. So if Rule 86B is applicable for you, but you have not followed it, in that case, registration can be cancelled. Next, the last one, furnishes the details of outward supply in GSTR 1 for one or more tax periods, which is in excess of outward supplies declared by him in his valid return under section 39 for the said tax period. So every person who is registered, who is paying tax as per section 9, is supposed to file 2 monthly returns, GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. And if these two are not matching with respect to outward supply, then also your registration can be cancelled by the proper officer. Because GSTR 1 is only to give the details of outward supply, whereas GSTR 3B, you will give the details of your outward supply as well as inward supply and also give the details of how much tax you are paying. Clear? So the details of outward supply will, if it is not matching as per GSTR 1 and 3B, then also the proper officer will have a right to cancel your registration, guys. So these are the grounds under which the proper officer will have a right to cancel your registration as per Rule 21. So now we will continue with 29.2. So 29.2.1 gave reference to Rule 21. So till now whatever we saw was the violations which are covered under Rule 21. Now again we are continuing with 29.2 only. So B, C, D, E and all is given in section 29 subsection 2 itself. A person paying tax under section 10 has not furnished return for 3 consecutive tax periods. So the person who is paying tax under section 10 means composition scheme. They have to file returns annually, guys. So please be careful. They have not filed the returns for 3 consecutive tax periods means 3 years. You can just write it there. So if they fail to file the returns for 3 consecutive years, consecutive means 1, 2, 3 straight away. So in that case, the proper officer will have a right to cancel. Then any registered person other than the person specified in clause B means the person who is paying tax as per section 9. Yeah, has not furnished return for the continuous period of 6 months. So person who is paying tax under section 9 has to file monthly returns. Yeah. So if he failed to do it for 6 consecutive months, then also his registration can be cancelled. Now for the person who is paying tax under section 9, some QRMP scheme also has been introduced, but that is not tested here. Yeah, where a person can pay tax monthly but file returns quarterly as per QRMP scheme. But here they are told any person, whoever is not covered in point B means the person who is paying tax as per section 9, if he has failed to file the returns for 6 consecutive months, then the proper officer will have a right to cancel his registration. Okay. Next, any person who has taken voluntary registration under section 25 subsection 3 has not commenced business within 6 months from the date of registration. So I had taken voluntary registration. After taking voluntary registration, within 6 months, I have not at all start my business. So in that case also, proper officer will have a right. Last one is, registration has been obtained by means of fraud, willful misstatement or suppression of fact. I have taken a registration but giving full wrong information, fraud, suppression of fact. I have not given full details. In that case also, the proper officer will have a right, guys. Clear? So these are the cases, that is from A to E. Whatever is covered in A is as per rule 21. The remaining points are covered as per section 29 subsection 2. Clear? Yes, sir. So in all these cases, the proper officer will have a right to cancel the registration, but straight away he cannot do it. First, he will issue a notice to you and he will then take a call after your reply. But during this period, what will he do? Before he give notice to you, first he will suspend your registration, then he will issue a notice to you, you will reply for it, then he will take a final decision. So during this proceedings, which is still happening, he can suspend your registration, guys. Yeah, provided that the proper officer shall not cancel the registration without giving the person an opportunity of being heard. Without giving a person an opportunity of being heard means he will first give you a show cause notice to explain yourself. Okay. Provided further that during the pendency of the proceedings relating to cancellation of registration, the proper officer may suspend the registration for such period and in such manner as may be prescribed. So till the cancellation proceedings is completed, my registration can be suspended by the proper officer. Okay. Then coming to subsection 3, the cancellation of registration under this section shall not affect the liability of a person to pay tax and other dues under this act, or to discharge any obligation under this act or the rules made thereunder for any period prior to date of cancellation, whether or not such tax and other dues are determined before or after the date of cancellation. Actually, there is a question on this asked in the exam. Now, sir, my registration is cancelled. So assume my registration is cancelled from 1st December. So till 1st December, I was liable to pay 1 lakh rupees tax. Now the question is, should I pay it? Yes, you have to pay it. You cannot tell, anyway, my registration is cancelled now, why will I pay? Go anta. Hello, boss. You are supposed to pay this amount before your registration was cancelled. You have to pay it. You cannot take cancellation of your registration as a reason not to pay that. Okay. So you have to pay and it's your duty to pay it. Yeah. So if you are liable to pay any tax, interest, penalty, whatever, till the date your registration is cancelled, you have to pay it. You have to pay it. Yeah. Next, coming to 29.4. The cancellation of registration under Sgst Act or UTGST Act, as the case may be, shall be deemed to be a cancellation of registration under this act. So within the respective state, you would have applied for a cancellation of your registration, or the proper officer would have passed the order for cancellation. It means if your registration is cancelled under Sgst Act, it is understood that it is also cancelled under Cgst Act. It is not like, okay, my registration is cancelled under Sgst, but I continue to be a registered person under Cgst anta. No. Clear? Last subsection. Now my registration is cancelled. I am no more a registered person. Now whatever stock, for example, just a second. Now my registration is cancelled from 1st December 22, guys. My registration is cancelled from 1st December 22. So whatever stock you are having, stock of raw material, WIP, finished goods or capital goods, whatever you are having, you would have already claimed a credit of it because you would have purchased this before 1st December and you would have claimed a credit of it, provided you are satisfied the conditions, whatever is there. So assume I have already claimed a credit of 2 lakh of this. So you are having this stock on 1st December, okay, which you have purchased before it, but you will not be using it now because from 1st December your registration is cancelled. So this is the amount of credit. For capital goods, we need to reduce 5% per quarter or part of the quarter, whatever is there. From the date of issue of invoice till 1st December 22, for every quarter or part of the quarter, we have to reduce 5%. Like how we have learnt in our input tax credit chapter and all, guys. So let us assume the amount of credit which I already claimed is 2 lakh, and for capital goods after all the reductions. Okay. Now, if this stock is supplied, if this stock is sold, what is the transaction value you will get? Check it. So assume it is 10 lakh rupees. On that, what is the tax amount? Assume it is 1 lakh, 1.8 lakh. So the sale value is 10 lakh, and that on that 18% GST 1.8 lakh. So how much I need to pay is the input tax credit which I have already claimed, or rupees 1.8 lakh, whichever is higher. Which is higher? 2 lakh. This is very similar to the sale of capital goods, guys, which is covered in section 18.6. The sale of capital goods and plant and machinery. It is very similar to that. Clear? Yes, let us see that. 29 subsection 5. Every registered person whose registration is cancelled shall pay an amount equivalent to the credit of input tax in respect of inputs held in stock and inputs contained in semi-finished or finished goods held in stock on the day immediately preceding the date of such cancellation, or the output tax payable on such goods, whichever is higher, calculated in such manner as may be prescribed. So you can write it here, similar to section 18.6. 18.6 is applicable where you are continuing your business, but whatever capital goods you had already purchased, you had claimed credit, now you are selling it. You are not closing your business, you are selling it. In that case, 18.6 is applicable. Sir, when 29.5 is applicable is, you have purchased any stock or capital goods, you have claimed a credit of it. Now you are closing down your business. You are cancelling your registration. Your registration is cancelled, or proper officer has cancelled your registration. In that case, 29.5 is applicable. So 29.5, 18.6, the provisions, that calculation and all is same, but when it is applicable is two different scenarios, guys. Yeah. Yes. So next. So my registration is cancelled on 1st December. Na? So on 30th November 22, whatever stock I am having, on that, if I have already claimed credit, then this provision is applicable. So what is the ITC you have already claimed? Okay. If it is for capital goods, then from the date of invoice till 30th November, reduce 5% for each quarter or part of the quarter. Okay, sir. Then check it. Compare that ITC with tax on transaction value. And here transaction value will be calculated as per section 15. Okay, value of supply. Okay, sir. Calculate tax on that. Whichever is higher, you will pay to the government once your registration is cancelled, and you have to pay it. You cannot take the reason, sir, my registration is cancelled now, why should I pay? No, you have to pay it. So there is a proviso here for section 29.5, provided that in case of capital goods or plant and machinery, the taxable person shall pay an amount equal to the input tax credit taken on the said capital goods or plant and machinery, reduced by 5% per quarter or part of the quarter, or the tax on transaction value of such capital goods or plant and machinery under section 15, whichever is higher. So this is like as it is, the effect calculation is as it is given under section 18.6, guys. Yeah, there also capital goods and plant and machinery, but the difference is here your registration is cancelled, whereas there I will still continue to be a registered person, but I'm just selling my capital goods or plant and machinery on which I have already claimed ITC. Clear, guys? This is all about section 29.5. So there are some rules also with respect to this. We'll just go through these rules once. Suspension of registration. I told you, whenever the proceedings for cancellation is still happening, the final decision is not taken. During that proceedings, your registration will be suspended by the proper officer. Yeah, that is what is given in rule 21A. What is it? The period and manner of suspension of registration is as follows. Where registered person has applied for cancellation. So the registered person, he himself has applied for cancellation. In that case, where a registered person has applied for cancellation of registration, the registration shall be deemed to be suspended. From what date it will be suspended? The date of submission of application. The date I submit the application, immediately your registration will be suspended. Or the date from which the cancellation is sought, whichever is later, pending the completion of proceedings for cancellation of registration. So the date on which you have made the application, or assume on 10th December I have made the application and I am asking for cancellation of registration for 1st December. So I am asked in application, I can also ask from when the registration should be cancelled. I have that right. Okay. I am asking for cancellation of my registration from 1st December. In that case, they are trying to tell. So from when the registration will be suspended is from 1st December, the date from which you are asking for cancellation, or the 10th December, that is the date on which you are making the application, whichever is later. Whichever is later. Okay. So in this case, it is 10th December. Let me take a different scenario. On 10th December, I am making application for cancellation and I am asking, sir, cancel my registration from 20th December. Cancel my registration from 20th December. So I am asking for cancellation from 20th December. So which is later here? 10th, the date of making application, or 20th, the date on which I am asking for my registration cancellation, whichever is later, that is 20th December. So from 20th December till the registration proceedings is completed, then my registration will be suspended. Okay. Next, second scenario is where cancellation of the registration has been initiated by the department on its own motion. That is, the proper officer is taking the step to cancel your registration because you have violated various provisions, whatever is given in section 29, subsection 2, read with rule 21. Okay. Where the proper officer has reasons to believe that the registration of a person is liable to be cancelled, he can now suspend the registration of such person pending the cancellation proceedings without affording the said person a reasonable opportunity of being heard, with effect from the date to be determined by him. In case where the cancellation is initiated by the department on its own and registration of a person has been suspended, such person shall not be granted any refund under section 54. So you will not be getting any refund of Cgst Act during the period of suspension of his registration. So if the proper officer is taking the steps for cancellation, then he will decide the date from which your registration will be suspended till the cancellation proceedings is completed. And during that suspension period, you will not be getting any refund of taxes. Next, coming to the third point, the registered person whose registration has been suspended as above. So if your registration has been suspension is not cancellation, but similar to cancellation. It is like, okay, your registration has been kept on hold. Shall not make any taxable supply during the period of suspension. So if your registration has been suspended, so till the suspension is removed, you cannot supply anything. Shall not be required to furnish any return under section 39. So you cannot furnish any returns also. Okay. The suspension of registration shall be deemed to be revoked. Means when the suspension will be removed is upon the completion of cancellation proceedings by the proper officer. So once the cancellation proceedings has been completed, your suspension will be removed or revoked. So cancellation proceedings completed means it can be like cancellation has been done, or else the proper officer told, okay, your registration will not be cancelled, go anta. So he has passed an order that the registered person will continue to be a registered person. Even in that case, we will tell the proceedings is completed. So suspension will be revoked. Yeah, in simple, once the proceedings is completed of the cancellation, whether cancellation is whether the registration is cancelled or whether it will be continued, whatever the order is given by the proper officer, in that case, what happens? The suspension will be revoked or removed. The suspension of registration may be revoked by the proper officer anytime during the pendency of the proceedings of cancellation also, if he deem fit. So during the proceedings also, when still the proceedings of cancellation is going on, will the proper officer have a right to remove the suspension? Yes, he will have a right. The proper officer will have a right to remove the suspension. Clear? Yes. Next. Procedure for cancellation of registration, rule 20 and 22. So what is the procedure for cancellation? Can the proper officer cancel my registration as he wish? No. As I already told you guys, whenever the proper officer he himself is cancelling, first he will issue a notice to you, you will respond to it, then only the registration can be cancelled. So what are those? We will see under both the situation. Voluntary cancellation by a registered person. So now I myself is making an application to cancel my registration. As per 29(1), 3 scenarios are covered here, na? So this is what? ABC. So the application is made for cancellation. So in that case, yeah, it is covered here. Voluntary cancellation by a registered person by way of application. A registered person seeking cancellation of registration shall electronically submit the application for cancellation of registration in prescribed form, that is Reg 16, within 30 days of occurrence of event warranting cancellation. So whenever any changes or any cancellation requirement is done or is there, within 30 days you need to make an application for cancellation. Okay, in Reg 16. Is required to furnish in the application the details of inputs held in stock or inputs contained in semi-finished goods held in stock of capital goods held in stock on the date from which cancellation is registration is sought, liability thereon, that is on the stock, details of payment if any made against such liability, and may furnish relevant documents. So whenever you are making an application for cancellation in Reg 16, you should also give the details of the stock whatever you are having, because liability should be cleared. Then the payment of taxes whatever you are liable to pay, you have to give the details of the same. Then where a person who has submitted an application for cancellation of his registration is no longer liable to be registered, the proper officer shall issue an order of cancellation within 30 days from the date of submission of application. So whenever there is any need for cancellation, you will make an application for cancellation. You will make an application within 30 days. And once you make an application within 30 days of that day, the proper officer will take a decision whether to cancel your registration or not. When normally when you yourself has made an application, registration will be cancelled. Okay. Next, suo motu cancellation by the department. That is, the proper officer is taking the step to cancel the registration. Can he do so? Yes. Where the proper officer cancels the registration suo motu, that is as per subsection 2, guys. Whatever is covered here. That is under A, B, C, D, E. The proper officer has a right. Correct? Huh? So, where the proper officer cancels the registration suo motu, he shall not cancel the same without giving a show cause notice. That is, show cause notice will be given in Reg 17 and without giving a reasonable opportunity of being heard to a registered person. And the reply should be given to that notice in Reg 18 within 7 days of receiving that notice. Okay. So, the proper officer will issue a show cause notice to the registered person, that is registration will be cancelled, and for what grounds it will be cancelled and all, it will be explained in the notice. So the person who is receiving the notice has to respond to it within 7 days. Okay, sir. Next, where the registration of a person is liable to be cancelled, the proper officer shall issue an order of cancellation of registration in GST Reg 19 within 30 days from the date of reply to show cause notice. Okay. So within 30 days of receiving the reply, he can pass an order. He can pass an order that is in Reg 19. Next. If reply to show cause notice is satisfactory, the proper officer shall drop the proceedings and pass an order in prescribed form that you will continue to, as a registered person, your registration will be continued. So in what form he will pass that order? Reg 20. So cancellation order will be passed in Reg 19. If the registration will not be cancelled, if it will be continued, then it will be passed in Reg 20 and it will be informed to the registered person. You can continue on that. However, where the person instead of replying to a show cause notice served, sir, a show cause notice was given to me. Okay. So instead of replying to it, why show cause notice was given for me? Sir, I didn't file last 6 months returns. Or if I am a composition person, I didn't file my returns for last 3 years. So in that case, so instead of replying to the notice, I filed all my pending returns and I paid all my taxes. In that case also, your registration will not be cancelled, guys. Clear? So that is what they have given here. However, where the person, instead of replying to the show cause notice, served for failure to furnish the returns for a continuous period of 6 months, that is 3 years in case of composition scheme person, for him they are told 3 consecutive period, furnishes all the pending returns and makes full payment of tax dues along with applicable interest and late fee, the proper officer will drop the proceedings and pass an order in Reg 20. So instead of replying, I filed all my pending returns, I paid all the taxes, interest, fee, penalty, everything. So in that case also, the proper officer will drop the proceedings, cancellation proceedings, and pass the order in Reg 20, guys. Clear? Yes. So this is all about the cancellation. And here I have given various forms, time limit and all. See, bit tough to remember all this, and I don't think that is not so important. It is not so important also. So I have given the form numbers and days and all, guys. If you don't remember, just write within prescribed time. If by chance, if there is any question and all, so you can write in the prescribed form. Application should be made in prescribed form, or reply to a notice should be made in prescribed form within prescribed time, like that. If you don't remember the time and form numbers, at least write prescribed time or prescribed form, more than enough. Clear? Happy? Yes. Yes, sir. Good news, sir. Chalo, guys. Effective date of cancellation. The cancellation of registration shall be effective from a date to be determined by the proper officer and mentioned in the cancellation order. So the date of cancellation will be decided by whom? Proper officer, and that date will be mentioned in the cancellation order also. He will direct the taxable person to pay arrears of any tax, interest or penalty, including the amount liable to be paid under section 29(5). So if there is any amount which is pending by the person whose registration is cancelled, so in the order, the directions will be given to that person to pay whatever dues is still pending. Clear? This is all about the cancellation, guys. This is all about the cancellation. Next, sir, my registration is cancelled. So order is passed. Your registration is cancelled. So as per section 29(2). So let me just recall this. As per section 29(2), under the following notes, that is A, B, C, D, E, the proper officer will cancel your registration. But before cancelling, he will give you a show cause notice. You have to reply for it. And once you reply, the proper officer will take a call. So after all this procedure, the proper officer has cancelled your registration and he has passed an order. He has passed an order, cancellation order he has passed in Reg 19. Agree? So he has passed a cancellation order telling your registration is cancelled. I am not happy with your reply. Now I have received that cancellation order. Full feelings. Okay. So full beard. Now full, I have taken a, what is that? Pass in any bar and restaurant. Sir, my registration is cancelled. No, you need not do like that. So within 30 days of receiving this order, you will have a time requesting, sir, can I get back my registration? Please, whatever I have done mistake, I will correct it. Whatever provisions I have violated, I will correct it. Can you give back my registration? Yes, you can request it. So once the cancellation order is passed, it will be communicated to you. Within 30 days of receiving it, you can make again an application telling, sir, please revoke my cancellation. Please remove my cancellation. Please give back my registration. You can request it. That is what is given in section 30. Clear? So you need not take any pass in any restaurants or bar. So just keeping things aside, let us see what is given in the provisions. Revocation of cancellation. Section 30 read with rule 23. 30 subsection 1. Any registered person whose registration is cancelled by the proper officer on his own motion may apply to such officer for revocation of cancellation. See, this revocation, you can make an application only when the proper officer has cancelled your registration. Sir, I had made an application for cancellation. So proper officer has cancelled my registration. Can I make an application for revocation? No. The option itself is not given. You yourself made an application for cancellation and proper officer cancelled your registration. In that case, I cannot make an application for revocation. Application for revocation can be made only when proper officer has cancelled your registration. As per section 29(2), he can cancel your registration under the following grounds. A, B, C, D, E is there, na? Yes. So he gave you a notice. Notice was given. You replied for it, and later, after receiving the reply, again he passed a cancellation order. Only in that case you can request the revocation. Clear? Okay, sir. So let us continue. 30 subsection 1. Any registered person whose registration is cancelled by the proper officer on his own motion, means he has cancelled it without any application made by the registered person. Okay. May apply to such officer for revocation of cancellation of registration in the prescribed form, that is Reg 21, within 30 days from the date of service of cancellation order. So my registration was cancelled by proper officer. He has communicated to me the cancellation order. So within 30 days of receiving it, I can request, I can make an application telling, sir, please give back my registration. So the normal time limit given is 30 days, guys. Okay, but can this 30 days be extended? Yes, it can be extended. Note, said period of 30 days may, on sufficient cause being shown, that is in the genuine cases, and for the reasons to be recorded in writing, be extended for a period not exceeding 30 days by additional or joint commissioner, and by further period not exceeding 30 days by the commissioner. See, the normal time given as per section 30 subsection 1 to make an application for revocation is 30 days. So within 30 days of receiving the cancellation order, I need to make an application. Okay. Still, under proper grounds, that is under genuine cases, if the reasons are shown, the joint commissioner or the additional commissioner can extend this time limit as per the note, can extend this time limit for another 30 days. Okay. Again, power is given to commissioner. So this is the extension given by whom? Additional commissioner or joint commissioner. So it can be extended for another 30 days by whom? Commissioner. By commissioners. So the total period including all the extension is 90 days. If there is nothing mentioned with respect to extension, don't mention anything with respect to that, guys. Just answer the question with respect to normal time. Clear? So only if there is anything with respect to extension, then okay, you can explain that point and give the answer. Clear? So 30 days can be further extended for another maximum 30 days by additional and joint commissioner, or that can again be extended by the commissioner for another 30 days. And 30 year is maximum time. The extension can be given for less than that, 20 days, 10 days also. Maximum extension that can be given by these people are 30. Okay, sir. Next. Provided that no application for revocation shall be filed if the registration has been cancelled for the failure of the registered person to furnish returns, unless such returns are furnished and any amount due as tax in terms of such returns has been paid along with any amount payable towards interest, penalty and late fee in respect of the said returns. So assume my registration was cancelled by the proper officer because I didn't file the last 6 month returns, or if I'm a composition person, I didn't file the returns for last 3 years. In that case, okay, my registration is cancelled. Can I apply for the revocation? Yes, you can apply, provided all the pending returns you have filed and you have paid the tax. Only then apply for revocation. Without filing the pending returns, if you apply for revocation also, it will be rejected straight away. Clear? Means for whatever reasons your registration is cancelled, you have to make it good. You have to make it good. Only then you make an application for revocation. Okay. Then coming to subsection 2, if the proper officer is satisfied that there are sufficient grounds for revocation of cancellation, he may revoke the cancellation of registration by an order, that is in Reg 22, within 30 days of receipt of application and communicate the same to the applicant. So application should be made within 30 days of receiving the cancellation order. Okay, application is made. Once the application is made, within 30 days, the proper officer will accept your application and tell, okay, I am revoking your cancellation. You can continue as a registered person anta. And that order will be passed in REG 22. Okay. The last another para here. Otherwise, he may reject the revocation application. However, before rejecting the application, he has to first issue a show cause notice in REG 23 to the applicant who shall furnish the clarification in REG 24. So notice will be issued in 23. For that, the reply will be given in 24. Within 7 working days of service of show cause notice, the proper officer shall dispose the application, that is either accept or reject whatever reply has been given within 30 days of receipt of clarification. Yeah, yes, it is like this. Just I will quickly draw the chart here. Okay, cancellation order is communicated. Okay. Within 30 days, you will make an application. Apply for revocation. Okay. Then within 30 days, the proper officer will have either 2 options. Accept. So if he is accepting, he will revoke the cancellation. Okay. He will revoke the cancellation. Next, if not, he will issue a show cause notice to me. Show cause notice. Then within 7 days, I need to reply for it. Reply to show cause notice. Then again within 30 days. Within 30 days, accept or reject. Reject or accept. By whom? Proper officer. Yeah, this is all about the revocation. Let me just write the time period. Form numbers not so important, but still I have mentioned it in the bracket for your reference, but the form numbers are not so important here, guys. Yeah, communication order is communicated. So within 30 days, you will make an application for revocation as per section 30. Okay. Then once you make an application within 30 days, the proper officer can either accept it or issue a show cause notice. So if he is accepting this, he will revoke the cancellation. I will continue to be a registered person. Or else he will issue a show cause notice to you, and within 7 days or 7 working days, I need to reply for it. Within 7 days or 7. See, even in the law, some places they have used only days. In some places they have used working days. Clear? So some you might be a bit confused, sir. In few places they have used working days, or in few places they have just used days and that is how they have used in the law also. That is how I have given in my book. Clear? Don't get confused, sir. You have missed it and don't think that I have missed it. No. So wherever they have used in the law working days, I have used it, and wherever they have used days only, I have used it like that. So that may not have much impact also on your answers. If you just write days also, like within 7 days or within 7 working days also, it's fine. Yeah, because in some places they have used working days in the law, and in few places they have just used days. Yeah, sure. Okay, so reply to show cause notice will be given within 7 days, and next, once the reply is given within 30 days. Within 30 days, the proper officer will either accept or reject. If he is rejecting, my registration is cancelled, and that will be hold good. If he is accepting, okay, my cancellation will be revoked, and I will continue to be registered person. Yeah. So in these 2 cases, just a second. In these 2 cases, I will continue as registered person. Continue as registered person. Chalo, you can take it. CO means communication order. Sorry, cancellation order is communicated. CO means cancellation order. Clear? Yes. The form numbers also I have given here in the brackets, and it will go in the order, guys. Like you will make the application for revocation in REG 21. Okay. Next, the proper officer is satisfied with it, he will pass the order in REG 22. Or if he is rejecting it, first he will give a notice to you in 23, and he will reply for it. You will reply for it in 24. Then the things will take turn. Again, he will pass an order, that is accept or reject. So even that order will be passed in REG 22 only. REG 22, the order. Okay. Next, 30 subsection 3. The revocation of cancellation of registration under Sgst or UTGST Act, as the case may be, shall be deemed to be revocation of cancellation of registration under this act. So if your application for revocation has been revoked, means revocation of cancellation of registration as under Sgst or UTGST, as the case may be, shall be, whatever application you have made under Sgst or UTGST will be deemed to be the application under Cgst. Under this act means Cgst Act, guys. Clear? Yes. You need not again make the application separately under Cgst Act. So this is all about the special provision. Actually 28, 29, 30 and all is like, okay, whenever there is an amendment, cancellation, only in that case it is applicable. I have told you it is averagely important for the exams. So there is a question asked in the exam on this topic, one question, we'll just do it. Come to last 9th question, guys. We will just do this and close this chapter. Come to this question, guys. Yeah, let me read the question. A registered person under GST failed to file his returns for a period of last 6 consecutive months. Please pay attention for that. 6 consecutive months. Okay. For this period, his liability under GST works out to 20,000. Cgst 10, Sgst 10. The department blocked this facility to generate e-way bills. And what is e-way bills? We would be learning it in the next immediate chapter, that is 4.2. And appropriate authority, that is proper officer, also issued a show cause notice to him as to why his registration should not be cancelled, and afforded him an opportunity to present his case. As the registration person failed to respond to the notice, his registration was cancelled. The registration person is of the view that, see, the registration person failed to respond to the notice only. He didn't reply only. In that case, will the proper officer will have the right? Yes, he will have a right. See, normally, this one shortcut which I would like to give you guys. Whenever a notice is issued to a registered person, he has to reply with 7 days. Wherever you can check, everywhere. So wherever, for whatever purpose, if the notice is given to the person, he has to reply it within 7 days. So the time period for reply for a notice is everywhere 7 days only. So here you are not at all replied for it. Okay. So the registered person is of the view that since his registration has been cancelled, he is not required to pay anything to the government. Is he correct? No. It is clearly given in section 29 that if your registration is cancelled, that will not help you to escape from tax liability. Otherwise, the registered person in this contest as per Cgst Act on 17. So this is a question on 29. As per section 29 subsection 2 of Cgst Act, the proper officer may cancel the registration of a person from such date, including any retrospective date, as he may deem fit, where any registered person has not furnished returns for the consecutive period of 6 months after giving him an opportunity of being heard. So under section 29(2), there are various grounds under which the proper officer will have a right to cancel their registration. One of the ground is if the registered person has not filed his returns for the last 6 consecutive months. If he is paying tax under section 9, then his registration can be cancelled. Okay. Section 29 subsection 3 provides that cancellation of registration shall not affect the liability of the person to pay tax and other dues under this act, or to discharge any obligation under this act for any period for any period prior to the date of cancellation, whether or not such tax and other dues are determined before or after the date of cancellation. Whether the tax was calculated before cancellation or after cancellation, that will not make any difference. In the given case, registered person failed to file his returns for a period of 6 consecutive months. For this period is liability under GST works out to be 20,000. Okay. The appropriate authority issued a show cause notice to him, and the registered person failed to respond to the notice, and hence his registration was cancelled. Clear? Yes. Hence, registration was cancelled by the appropriate authority as per the provisions. So, registration is cancelled as per the provisions of Cgst Act only. Therefore, in this case, the dealer has to pay the tax of 20,000 along with the interest. So, as there is a delay, he has to pay it along with the interest also to the government, even though his registration has been cancelled. He has to pay it. So, whatever the opinion of the registered person is there, it is not correct. Clear, guys? See, one more important thing. In this topic, registration topic, there are various time period within 7 days, within 15 days, within 30 days and all, guys. See, if you know the exact days actually for the relevant question, then only write it. If not, please write within prescribed time. Within prescribed time. Then also coming to the form number, there are various form numbers. So if you don't exactly know the form numbers, write at least in prescribed form. The application should be made in a prescribed form, or notice will be issued in prescribed form, something like that, guys. Yeah, it's okay if you write like that also. Clear? Because all the things might not be, you will not be able to remember it, but still, at least the form numbers from 1 to 11 or 1 to 10, remember it, guys, along with the days and all, because it is important with respect to registration. Clear? Others also, if you are remembering, great, good, very good. Clear? Yes. So we have completed this chapter 4.1, and we will close this with a quotation. Never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is a thief of time, guys. Please don't postpone anything, not only your studies. I'm talking about everything. If you are supposed to do something today, today only you have to do it, guys. There is no tomorrow for professional students. Clear? So please don't postpone, especially your studies and all, because time will just go like this, guys. So you will feel still 3 months is there, till 6 months is there, let me study tomorrow. Today only one video is enough. Okay, today only one chapter is enough. Please don't do it. If you have sufficient time, utilize it effectively, productively. Clear? Time will just go like that, guys. It's just like, okay, Corona came yesterday. We are just having that feeling. Modi came and announced Janata curfew first. Later, he uploaded us. You did really well. Let us continue this for another 15 days, 20 days. So lockdown was there all these days. Still, it is like it happened just yesterday. Clear, guys? So time will just go like that. Don't wait, sir. Let me study once 15 days before the exam, 30 days before. It won't be possible, guys. Even if you are having 3 months, 6 months of time, it won't be sufficient for you. Clear? Syllabus is very huge. Content is very huge. Voluminous. Okay. It demands good amount of time. Only then you will be able to pass your exams. Sir, I will just study some selected topics. You cannot pass, guys. Please don't do that. From day one only, you should know that, okay, there might be a choice in the exam, but we don't know which question will come in that choice now. Okay, question 1 will be a compulsory question. There will be a choice only between 2 to A. That's all. So 1, 3, 4 and all I need to attend. So what if there is any question on the topic which I have left? So in that case, you are like straight away lost 4 or 5 marks. So please don't do that. Please cover each and everything, whatever has been covered in the class, guys. Don't select any selected chapters or selected topics only. At least have some idea. If by chance, if there is any question, you will write on that topic. If not 5 marks, at least you will get 2 or 3 marks on that question. More than enough. Fine. Because on all the questions, you need not get 5 out of 5. So some questions you are really prepared well, you will get really good marks. Fine. Some questions, okay, if you are getting 2-3 marks also, more than enough, guys. Because we are not targeting 100 out of 100 here. Okay, you can target nothing wrong. I'm just telling it. Agree? Because in professional exams, getting 75-80 above is only all India rank. Agree? Yes, guys. So with this, we will close the this chapter here, and hope you guys are studying regularly. Please do it. If not till now, start it from now. Please do study regularly, guys. Whatever contents we are covering is like day by day, it is getting accumulated. So please do study regularly and take care of yourself, guys. Bye bye.